Welcome to Media Lesson 1A, the Base 10 number system in Number Sense 1. You'll see here that a description of the type of problem we're doing will be listed on top, decomposing numbers additively. And we have a definition. Decomposing numbers additively means to break a number into two or more groups so that the combined amount in the groups is equivalent to the original amount. Now we're going to look at two problems that use this idea. So let's read the first one. Deb and Frank pooled their money together and had a total of 10 $1 bills. Determine three different possible amounts they may have originally had if they each had at least $1. So we've read through the problem, and notice that this is a word problem or an application problem, meaning we're not just told to compute something, but we're given words that describe a situation, and we need to decode what we're supposed to do based on this problem. And we're going to make the habit of finding what we're given and what our goal is in each type of problem like this. So I'm going to highlight the givens in yellow and our goal in green. So it's a good idea to first read the problem completely and then determine the goal. So once you know what the goal is, you can see what other relevant information is in the problem that will count as a given. So the goal usually starts with the word either determine, find, or sometimes it's phrased as a question. What is the, how much is the? So that's what you're really looking for, and it's usually the last sentence or towards the end of the problem. So notice right here we have determine three different possible amounts they may have originally had. And this continues on if they each had at least $1, but that's not really the question. That's something that's given. That's a restriction it's placing on our goal. So now I'm going to change the highlighter, and I'm going to mark this as a given. So we're given that they each had at least $1. Now let's go back to the first part of the problem. Deb and Frank pooled their money together and had a total of 10 $1 bills. So here we're given two pieces of information. First, that there's two people. It doesn't matter that they're Deb and Frank. There's two people that put their money together. And the other important piece is they have a total of 10 $1 bills. So we have to determine three different possible amounts they may have originally had if we had two people with a total of 10 $1 bills and they each had at least $1. So underneath here I have 10 dollar signs, each one representing a $1 bill. So our goal is to split these 10 into exactly two groups in this case because there's two people, and see how much each person would have had in three different scenarios. So I'm going to start by putting a line here. Write one here and two here. So one way to break up or partition 10 into two pieces is for one person to have $1 and the other person to have $9. So I'll write $1 and $9. So that's one possible amount pair. I'm going to change this line, and I'm just going to move it over 1. So that would be $2 for the first person and $8 for the second person. So that's another pair of original amounts they may have had that totals $10. I'm going to change the line again. I could just move over 1 and continue doing that. That would be a systematic way to do this. But I'm just going to move a line here. So this would be the first person has $4 and the second person has $6. So now I believe I've completed the problem and done what they've asked, but I'm just going to double check this. So we were supposed to find 3 different possible amounts. So here are the pairs of possible amounts they originally had. They each had to have at least $1. Well, notice all these numbers are $1 or greater. There were 2 people, and notice there's 2 quantities. And their money total together should be 10 $1 bills. So this would be 9 and 1 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, 4 and 6 is 10. And then when we're done, for all application problems, you want to write your result as a complete sentence. This is another good way to check to see if you're actually answering the problem. So, using the goal, that's how you start your sentence. 3 different possible amounts are, and now I'm just going to list these, $1 and $9, $2 and $8, and $4 and $6. I'm just going to box my answers so that I know that's my final answer. Okay. And there's different answers you may have gotten, and I challenge you to go through and find other possible combinations if you'd like. Let's look at the next question. Deb, Frank, and Sarah pooled their money together and had a total of 10 $1 bills. Determine 3 different possible amounts they may have originally had if they each had at least $1. So notice this problem is very, very similar to the last one. There's actually only one difference. So let's start by finding our goal, which is identical to the last one. Determine 3 different possible amounts they may have originally had. What's different is this they isn't referring to 2 people like it was in this problem, Deb and Frank. In this problem, we have Deb, Frank, and Sarah. So that's really what makes this problem different. So let's highlight our givens yellow. They each had at least $1. There was 3 people, and their money together totaled 10 $1 bills. And I'm just going to note right here that there's 3 people. So now I'm going to start finding 3 of these different combinations. I'm going to start like I did last time. I'm going to draw a line right here, and this is going to be the first person's dollar. But now, since we need to break it into 3 pieces, I need to draw another line partitioning this $9 into 2 different groups. And I'm going to draw a line right there, because that ensures they each have at least $1, and the third person actually has $8. So let's write this down. $1, $1, $8. Let's make another one. I'm going to shift this line over, maybe just 1 more dollar, so this will be different. We have $1, $2, and this would be $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. And now we need to find one more. And we could continue in this manner, but I'm going to change it a little bit just to show we can. How about a line here and a line here? This breaks it into 3 pieces. The first person has 3, the second person has 4, and the third person has $3. So this is another combination. $3, $4, and $3. So now again, I'm going to check to see that I've answered the question. We are supposed to determine 3 different possible amounts they may have originally have, and notice I have 3 listings. They each had at least $1. Well, every number is at least $1. There were 3 people, and notice we have 3 quantities in each row. And each row should add up to 10. So 1, 2, and 8 is 10. 3 and 7 is 10. 7 and 3 is 10. So it all seems to check, and now we're going to write our final sentence. Based on our goal, we're going to write 3 different possible amounts are $1, $8, put a comma, 1, 2, $7, and the last one, actually this is a grouping, so I'm just going to make that clear by putting a little box around it. This is the second grouping, and the final grouping is 3, 4, and $3. We'll put that in a box as well.